I'm back. Haven't been up here. Wanted to take a look and see what it looked like in a while. Haven't been up here in a while, I should say. It's greening up. A little worried about snakes. Spud. You never know this time of year. I've got the stable right there down the hill, which was built 4 years ago. And I found this in January. I don't think I've posted that video yet. I have so many videos I haven't taken yet. But I wanted to come back and see what it looked like. This will probably be one of the last times I come up here during the summer. As it gets really green, it's kind of spooky the greener it gets. Hi there. And all the snakes and stuff, but this is what it looks like. It's the biggest structure I've found to date. It looks like they've used cut logs and broken sticks. Can't see it at all from the bottom of the hill. A long one here. You have this crossed one sticking up here as they do. Looks like, I don't know, I mean, I certainly can get in here and crawl around. I don't like being in wood piles like this with snakes coming out. We do have vipers here, so they wouldn't necessarily hurt me, but the dog wouldn't work out well. It's got a little window there. I call it a window, a little lookout spot. And it looks like from the top. And if they built it 4 years ago, or around that time, if they were watching, and this has been hooked over this branch. Oh, that's wedged in there. That's really wedged in there tight. They could sit up here, especially in the wintertime. Oh, and hide. In the summertime, no one would know where they were here. In the wintertime, they could watch what was going on as far as construction. There's always like a little doorway. You got one doorway here. I call it a doorway. One doorway here. The whole other side of this hill is covered with blueberries. Like it's like a big blueberry patch on the other side. And then it drops down and there's an experimental garden on the far side. Let's see what it looks like. Spud, come eat. Yeah, we don't need any snake bites today. Here it is from this side. So there is one big cut log, but I mean there are cut logs up here. But I mean, who would have done all this? And you cannot see it at all from the bottom of the hill. This whole area up here is a Iron Age defensive area position. So a lot of the stonework that you see, which is really hard to see, is like boulder ramparts they built. It's really dry too. We have not had a lot of rain. There's a lot of no burn warnings going on right now. I see a big new slash pile right over there that I'll go investigate. Can you see that right there? I'll go investigate that in a minute. When I was up here this winter, Spud's done a med. You know, look at, they've got this straight stick that's been stuck in the tree. This is interesting. That's new. I didn't see that last time I was here. It makes an X. Ah, interesting. So this is my find. It's the biggest one, as I said, that I found. They like to use the boulders and make like a shelter between the stones, which makes sense because the boulders are so big. I did find two little lean-to areas. Let's go this way. I think it's safer. Come on, buddy. Come. Just on the bed, Boobin. You can see it here. There's more of it. I always feel safer when I hear the birds. There have been some changes. Here's a twist. I found this winter. This had been broken and, oops, there it is. Broken and twisted sideways in the snow. This has fallen down a little bit. That looked a little bit different in the snow sign. Spud, stand the mat. Come, good one. Oh, here, you can kind of see, can you see this circular area here with the stones? That would have been part of a building or structure in the Iron Age. I love coming up here because it's kind of neat. I grew up in Arizona and they have Anasazi ruins, and it's really interesting and amazing to walk through those. But when you're out in the woods in a different country and all of a sudden you come upon a stone circle or something, you know, or one of these rune stones, it's really unique and really interesting to find. Let me see if I can find those two. They were like two hidey holes. It looks different when the leaves grow. And you can't even see it's there. Like, unless I walked around, there it is again. You can't even tell from the size of the boulders. Let's see if I can find those. When I found it in January, we had about 1.5 feet of snow on the ground. It was really fun to come up here, and I was certainly not expecting to find it. I'd wanted to come up for a long time, but I thought, okay, I'm going to do it. You know, some days feel safer than other days, and that's when I found the shelter. And let's go down here. Where is it? There's one of them right there, here in the rocks, and there should be another over here to my left. So, yeah. So look at this. Can you guys see these sticks that are piled up here on the rock in front of us there? That's what we're going to go look at. That's one. And let's come. Again, it's hard to tell, but these boulders have been pushed into a circle. Again, defensive position. Deer rubbing spot here. There's plenty of deer. There it is, right here. This I thought was interesting. Okay, let's go this way. Spud, can you see these cross logs? Okay, these have kind of changed a little bit. They've been shoved out of the way. It's brand new. And this is two things I thought were interesting. This little thing had been built here. See, it's kind of like a cover. When I was here in the wintertime, the sticks were pushed kind of up the log. They weren't as fallen down, so you couldn't see in the hole there. It was completely covered. You can't even see the other hidey hole, which is right there. Okay, so let's take a look at this then. You can hear the horses down below. Spud's down the med. And from this vantage point, you can just see the windows through the trees. I don't know if you can see those. There's a big riding arena in there. 4 years ago, that whole side was forest. And when they built this, I can just see, if you wanted to have little Bigfoot up here hanging out, you could just sit up here. See how these branches are all kind of shoved into each other? You could just sit here and watch what was going on. And you had a little hidey hole. Look at this. Total hidey hole under this rock. It's not very big, but enough to, you know, if you're a little baby Sasquatch or something, I don't know. Here's one. You could sit and look in the windows and people couldn't see you. This was the other thing that I found. They always have an exit, like an emergency exit. I don't know if you can see this branch here. There's an opening that if you run all fours, you could scoot under that and go right down the hill or over to the left and get away. This was interesting. Got this here, this branch is there. This branch has been completely wrapped around under this one and comes out on the other side and over here. So it's been S-wrapped around to keep it out from blocking that escape route. Well, let's go. So here's that. As I said, it's kind of been shoved out of the way a little bit. It was much neater this winter, so maybe that was new. And we're going to go look at this one right here in front of us. Let's see here. Plenty of places to hide up here, that's for sure. Animal burrow. Spud. Yeah, you can look right down in there. And they keep feed out there. So, I mean, do they go in and get feed? Do they see when people are here? Spud, stand a minute. Ah, check this out here. Look at this. See this one? So this, you got this area here. Plenty of space for me to curl up underneath that. I'm 5'8". Normal size woman, I guess. A little space under the rock. And that's as big as my hand there, so you get quite a bit of space to hide underneath this. Totally shielded from view. So, yeah, look at the area. Here we go. And again, you can see right into the windows of the riding arena. And before they built this, this was all woods going all the way out to the road. Always has been. So as I said, the riding arena is 4 years old. So, interesting stuff. Look out, buddy. Look out, sweetheart. Let's see how it looks from down here. If I were just to go down below, can you see this space there? So interesting finds. I guess I will go check out the... It's sort of in line of sight. If you look right ahead of us, you can see the bigger structure right there kind of is up there. So you have a dog that's doing whatever it's doing. Little structure here. You have the other little structure. Hey, sweetheart. You see right there? See the logs all piled up? Or on the back half of it? And then over the top of the hill, the big structure. Pretty cool. And then you have the new riding stable. Okay, well that's my video for today with all my new finds. Bye.